Batman, the New Car, Gotham City, January 6, 2006. 6 days into the New Year's, and Batman was going after criminals once again. This time he was going after some jewelry thieves. As he drove around in his Batmobile on patrol, he heard the police band screech to life as it was informing all available units to a jewelry store break-in at Pioneer Jewelry Store.
Attention, attention, all available units. Burglar alarm sounding off at the Pioneer Jewelry Store. Any available units, please respond.
Hearing it, Batman quickly shifts the Batmobile into gear and starts speeding off. Meanwhile, at the Pioneer Jewelry Shop, the jewel thieves were quickly cramming into an older model, highly modified Mitsubishi Eclipse. Then the Eclipse takes off. Several moments after they escape the scene of the crime, the Batmobile rounds the corner, slowing down just to get the drop on them, but Batman saw it was too late. They had gotten away. But Batman hears a blip on his radar. The forward-mounted radar picked up the speeding getaway car just getting out of range. Then Batman floors it to give chase to them. Meanwhile, the crooks inside the Mitsubishi Eclipse were cheering and hollering at their victory, while Batman was starting to catch up to them in his mighty Batmobile. Well, in the Eclipse, the driver, who was the lead thief, saw the Batmobile starting to come up at the rearview mirror, and he says, "Oh shit, guys, we got company." Everyone turned around to look, and they saw the Batmobile. The crook in the back says, "Oh shit, Jay, that's a Batmobile. We can't outrun that thing. That thing's got a powerful engine inside." Jay says, "So do we." And then he shifts gears as he pushes the Eclipse's modified engine further. Another crook says, "Oh, come on, Jay. We're not going to outrun that thing. It's even got weapons. It could shoot us." Then Jay says, "Okay, I know how we deal with the Batmobile and Batman." He reaches for the bottom of his seat, balancing the steering wheel as he was reaching for the bottom of the seat. And then he pulls out a pipe bomb. He gives it to the jewel thief on the passenger seat, and he tells that jewel thief, "Roll down the window, twist the top, and then just throw it out. We're going to cause a little traffic jam for the Batman," he says. Well, the jewel thief in the passenger seat did as the leader told him. He twisted the top, rolled down the window, and quickly threw it out. As the pipe bomb tumbled onto the road, suddenly a huge explosion happens. The resulting explosion did not get any of the cars that were incoming, but the combination of the explosion, the flames, caused all the cars to slam their brakes. Plus, being wintertime, the roads were slick on the bridge, and there was a massive pileup, including a fuel truck that was involved in a wreck as it collided with the other cars and jackknifed. Meanwhile, Batman was coming up very fast towards the wreck. Batman sees he was coming up on the huge wreck. Then he quickly slams his brake and comes to a screeching halt. Batman quickly gets out of the Batmobile to see if he could render aid. Most of everybody had got out and fled, as, of course, the fuel truck has sprung a leak from the wreck, and the gas was headed right for the flames ahead where the incendiary bomb had blown up. Batman saw that there was an old woman that was stuck in her car, not because she can't get the door open, but she had mobility issues and she couldn't get out. Batman quickly opened the door, grabbed the old woman, grabbed his grapple gun, and grappled upwards to safety. as the gasoline leak had reached the flames and ignited a trail of flames that was headed right for the wreckage and the source of gas. As he got the old woman to safety, Batman saw the massive explosion beneath him. The explosion caused that part of the bridge to collapse, sending all the flaming wreckage to the waters below. Of course, the Batmobile, which was parked right next to the wrecked semi, was caught in the explosion, and as the portion of the bridge collapsed, it too fell below, but it didn't hit the water. The flaming Batmobile hit the base of Pioneer's Bridge and blew up from the impact of the fall. Then Batman turned to look at the old woman and asked the old woman,
"Are you okay, ma'am?"
The old woman responded back to Batman, "Oh, yes, yes, good sir. Oh, my God. That could have been me down there. Oh, oh." The old woman passed out from shock from what she had witnessed and how that could have been her down there if Batman hadn't saved her. 2 days later at the Wayne penthouse, Bruce Wayne was looking through the newspaper at the classified sections. Alfred comes in and is like, "Good morning, Master Bruce. I take it you're looking for a new car for the Batman." Bruce Wayne says, "Yes, Alfred, I am. I am indeed, and I think I found a car. The perfect car to use as the base car for the new Batmobile." Alfred says, "Oh, do tell, sir. What car do you see that you like that you want to buy?" Bruce Wayne says, "This 1980s Fox body Mustang that's for sale. The guy here says he only has 65,000 original miles on it, and he's selling for 8,000. Looks like it's in reasonable condition by the description," said Bruce to Alfred. Then Bruce says to Alfred, "Alfred, go, disguise yourself, and buy the car, and then drive it to the garage, and then later on I will put it into the Bat Bunker." Alfred says, "Yes, sir." And then Bruce says to Alfred, "And as for me, I'm going to start buying some parts for it right now." So Alfred went and bought the car, while Bruce Wayne went to the Summit Racing website and bought high performance parts for the engine for the new Batmobile. But it was not going to be the original Mustang's engine. He was going to order a new engine for it. Then he also decided to get all the other stuff he needed for the Batmobile from Applied Sciences. Later on, Alfred did bring the old Mustang to the garage, where later Bruce Wayne at night took it into the Bat Bunker, and then the next morning he began working on it. He tells Alfred, "I'm not going to work today. I'm going to begin stripping down this car." Alfred says, "Yes, sir. I'll tell Mr. Fox." Then Bruce Wayne begins the process of stripping down the Mustang to its frame. After he was done, most of the Mustang's original parts and everything else were taken to the scrapyard and sold for scrap, while the Mustang's 5.0 liter V8 engine was stored. Bruce Wayne was going to refurbish it and then sell it for money. So the weeks were passing by. January 13th came. Bruce Wayne had a giant birthday party for his 24th birthday. A lot of people turned out. It was the only day he didn't work on the car. He was working on his new Batmobile every afternoon after he came home from work. By the end of January, Bruce Wayne had refurbished the 5.0 liter V8 from the Mustang, and he sold it on eBay for a couple $1,000s. He used that money to pump into the new Batmobile. Finally, early February came, and what he was waiting for finally was released. Ford's new engine, the Cyclone V6, its next-gen V6 engine, capable of generating 305 horses out of the box, and it was also 60-degree V6, meaning it was very compact. So he ordered a crate version with 4.0 liters, and he had it overnighted to his penthouse. Well, after it arrived, now Bruce Wayne had begun the process of stripping down the engine to its bare block, and then he reassembled it with all the high performance racing parts he ordered: pistons, dry sump, and the underdrive pulleys. And he also put in the variable intake manifold, which was more powerful than the conventional racing manifold. He also put in the propane fuel system. Like the previous Batmobile, this Batmobile was going to run off liquid propane. After he was done, he estimated that the new Batmobile engine would generate 800 horsepower like the previous Batmobile's engine. Then, afterwards, he had begun assembling the new Batmobile's body with the help of Dick Grayson, Alfred, and Lucius Fox. 3 days later, they were finally finished. The Batmobile was ready. Now the old 80s Fox body Mustang was the new Batmobile. It had the following features: the standard armor plated and fireproof body made of ballistic steel, the bulletproof windows, but instead of the bulletproof windows being of ballistic quartz, it was now of spinel ceramics, which was thinner and much more stronger than ballistic quartz. It had reinforced bumpers front and back for ramming, fireproof, puncture-proof tires. It now had an 800 horsepower 60-degree V6 that ran on liquid propane gas like its predecessor. Like its predecessor, it had onboard computers, and it had a next-gen version of the autopilot and the new Smart Track traction control system for better handling on slippery or icy roads. The car also sported next-gen versions of the 4-point radar system: two in the wing mirrors, one in front and one in the rear, next-gen version of multispectral digital cameras front and back. And as for the weapons, while the previous Batmobile only had a forward-mounted machine gun, this new Batmobile has radar-guided missiles and an EMP weapon that releases an EMP wave to disable any vehicle or enemy electronics within 5 feet. Then Bruce Wayne gets into the new Batmobile, starts up the engine, and revs it up to hear how it sounds. Then Dick Grayson says, "Oh my God, Bruce, that sounds so beautiful. I gotta try it out sometime." Lucius Fox says, "My goodness, Mr. Wayne, very impressive." Alfred said, "Oh my, Master Bruce, truly we have outdone ourselves with this new vehicle." Then Bruce Wayne answered, "Indeed we did. Now time to get a group of jewel thieves." Then he looks at Dick and he says, "So Dick, you're going to tag along with this one?" Dick says, "I'm afraid not, Bruce. I have to go back to school and study for a major test tomorrow. But don't worry," he says to Bruce Wayne, "I'm definitely going to be driving that thing this weekend." Bruce Wayne smiles like, "Okay, Dick. She'll be here waiting for you." 2 nights later, at the Gotham International House of Diamonds, the jewel thieves had struck again as they were leaving the scene of the crime with a whole sack full of diamonds that they stole as the burglar alarm was going off. Soon they all packed into the souped-up Mitsubishi Eclipse. Their leader, Jay, starts up the engine and takes off. As a souped-up Eclipse raced down the street, they flew by a car that was parked on the side. It was a new Batmobile. As they flew by, suddenly the yellow xenon headlights turn on, And Batman pulls out of the space that he was parked in and begins shifting gears on the new 5-speed semi-automatic transmission as the car was picking up speed. Meanwhile, as Jay was driving, he looks at the rearview mirror and said, "Holy Mary, Mother Moses, it can't be." All the other guys turned around to look, and it's like, wait a minute, that can't be. Is that a new Batmobile? Is that Batman coming? And a new car, said the other guy. Jay says, if it is him, forget it. He can't catch up to us. We lost him the last time. And then Jay was shifting gears like a madman, trying to lose the Batman. But it was no use. The Batmobile was catching up quickly. As Batman was getting closer and closer to the backside of Jay's Mitsubishi Eclipse, Batman activates the EMP weapon and lets it rip. Soon the EMP wave shorts out the Mitsubishi Eclipse as electrical sparks were flying everywhere and the car dies. The disabled car goes crashing into a parked car. The Batmobile quickly pulls up right behind them. Batman hits the ejector button and ejects out and it's on the roof of a nearby building. Well, the jewel thieves didn't know that yet. Soon they all got out of the car. Jay, their leader, was brandishing a machine gun and he starts shooting at the Batmobile. But Jay was not alone. The other members of his gang were all brandishing guns too, and they were also shooting at the Batmobile. Batman stood on the roof patiently waiting. Well, their ammo ran out, so Batman made his move. He grabs a smoke pellet from his utility belt, throws it on the ground by them, and they were engulfed in the smoke. Then Batman activates detective mode and pounces on them. He takes them all down and leaves them unconscious for the police to arrest them. He gets into his new Batmobile and speeds off. After he speeds off, the police show up and they arrest all the members of the Jewel Gang and they find the sack of diamonds in the car. Well, they were going to jail. Meanwhile, Batman was driving the Batmobile and Alfred comes over the communication system and he says, "Well, sir, how did the first night out with the Batmobile work out?" Batman says to Alfred,
"It was a complete success. It stopped the Jewel Gang. Everything works on this car."
But before Batman could say another word, the police scanner screeches to life with a robbery in progress.
All available units. Robbery in progress at 6 in Giordano. Perpetrator identified as Arthur Coyne, a.k.a. the Penny Plunderer. Repeat. Robbery at 6 in Giordano. The perpetrator has been identified as Arthur Coyne, a.k.a. the Penny Plunderer.
Once Batman heard that, he quickly shifts gears, floors it, and drives to the scene. Like and subscribe, the end.